Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Light Zeros Tarot, the Light Zeros Tarot by Chris Ann. Website is at the bottom of the paragraph with Chris Ann's picture, of course. Chris-Ann with an E.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. I really enjoy her artwork. I really think it's really awesome. Supportive Oracle Cards. You are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website for them, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, U as an umbrella. Okay. What do we have for Scorpio? Okay. That is interesting, that first card. That first card, really interesting. There's only one card here that really has me wondering what's going on. And that's the fact that this first card that came out is the Ace of Cups. Yet it came in upside down. Whatever the situation is, the person you've been dealing with has been pretty consistent. Am I getting that wrong? It seems like they've been pretty consistent. Let me just... Yeah, and you get the Strength card reversed, and then the Nine of Swords reversed. Somebody's been holding up their end of a bargain for the longest time. And they've been doing it pretty well. Maybe you've been working with them in tandem, but they're letting that go. The Ace of Cups reversed is telling me they're letting go. It may be an abrupt stop. Scorpio understands when that happens. I understand that you guys probably understand why it's happening, but when it happens, I don't feel like you like it. And it forces you into a spot where you have to make some quick decisions. Not everybody's going to like these decisions. And you're not even sure if they're the right decisions. You have to make some quick decisions. Not everybody's going to like them. You're not sure that it's even right. You're not even sure you're making the right decision. You're just like, but I got to make a decision, so I'm going to do it. By making these decisions, it does put you in a position of power. It's weird, because even if you're like a supportive player at work, you're going to be greatly depended on. For example, maybe you're not the manager, but you're depended on greatly by the manager. Like whatever you're doing is keeping the situation going. You're making a decision you have to make. You are cementing yourself even deeper into the situation. In fact, at this point, maybe you weren't that deep into it before or didn't feel like you were, but this decision is like planting the seed where you're getting even deeper in this situation. I'm not really sure you want to do it. It seems like it's just one of those things you feel like, well, I got to do it. This is what I need to do. This is what I'm going to do. The energy is very fast. I know Scorpio can roll with that. But I also feel like that's kind of the double-edged sword with the feeling like I'm not making the best decision. Trying to read between the lines here. I'm not crazy. I swear there's a gnat here. I just can't catch it. Just in case you people say, like, what is he doing? It's kind of like, I also feel like as you get deeper into the situation here with this decision, you don't really want to do this. But I feel like it's almost like a work situation. I feel like I feel like I have to. It's kind of like this is a company I've been at for a while. I don't plan to go to another company. If I just kind of flake on this, that's not going to go well for me because I have other things I want to do later in my career. And if I just fail at this, it's going to haunt me. So I have to do my best with it. It's kind of locking me into it a little deeper than I really want. It's not really where I want to go with this. If it is a career thing, you know, it's a general read, however that hits for you. But I feel like I'm accepting it. I feel like I have no choice. I know what I'm doing. You're the one who knows what... You do know what you're doing. Even though you're not really sure if you're making the best decision, you do know what you're doing. You seem to be most qualified at this point because you're the closest to it. Am I wrong with that? Can we get a little bit more with the wisdom? I don't know. I'm getting some pushback with that, so I'm like... Four of Swords. It's half and half. You got the Sun card, half and half. You're trying to do what's right. The question is right by who? Are you trying to do what's right by the business, if it's a business thing, or right by certain people? Who are you trying to do right by? Because I feel like that's where maybe you're torn. Who is this really best for? And I don't see like a judgment on my side. Like, you know what you're dealing with. You know if this is good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just getting kind of like that might be where you're having a conflict. There's a loss. There's something with a loss coming up here. Due to this decision, there's going to be some loss. I keep getting there's something with loss. The Justice card with the Passion is telling me that, you know, the next phase needs to come in. It seems like this was already on track. It was already going to happen. I do feel like there's a new phase. I don't see the World card, but I'm feeling that. I'm very much feeling that. There is some loss. I don't think it's a great amount of loss. I think it's a minimal amount of loss. The Wheel of Fortune coming in. The Ten of Cups going upside down, then going right side up right after. It's upside down on the dice, but it's right side up for you after. So I feel like when this loss happens, people aren't going to be happy about it. There might be some people who leave due to this situation. New people will come in that will go to your advantage. It's very topsy-turvy to me. It's kind of like it's like if we were all in a wave pool and all of a sudden we get a big wave that just overtakes us and we all end up rolling around and losing our bearings and like which way is up. And then when it finally settles down again, we can all like see what's going on and everybody's okay. But for a minute there, it was kind of like very upsetting. Does that make sense? Kind of like everything goes upside down and we're like, I don't even know what I'm doing, let alone what everybody else is doing. But once it settles, it's like everybody's okay and the people who wanted to leave left. And now we're going to have openings for new people. If this is a business thing especially, it's just kind of like everything goes topsy-turvy. Topsy-turvy. And it almost, I feel like it's partly due to the decision I made. Although I don't know if that's fair because things were already leaving as it was. Things were already in process, but it does feel like I feel like there's a weight on my shoulders, like it's partly because of the decisions I made. It's very interesting. Take it with a grain of salt, of course. Once that settles, I feel like there's a new energy coming in that instantly seems to like you. Instantly. I feel like Scorpio comes across this. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you guys come across this fairly commonly. Maybe not every day, but maybe a couple times a year at least, where you just meet people and they just like you. They just like you. That's just what it is. Even if you don't like them, I'm not saying it's reciprocal, but they like you. They instantly like you. And I feel like you have some of that energy coming in. Again, I'm not saying it's reciprocal. I'm just saying they like you. These people are looking to you for answers. These people aren't super motivated either. They got not the Hermit, what is that? The 12 is the Hanged Man, and then the 7 of Swords, which is kind of like, I don't know, there's this new energy coming in. They're not the most motivated. They'll do what you tell them to. They're not really self-start people. If you get them set up in a pattern, I get with the Hanged Man, they're going to stick with that pattern until you tell them otherwise. It might be more of an Earth energy coming towards you. Doesn't have to be. There's nothing wrong with Earth. But I feel like you're completely leading the way. If there's new people coming in like this says, you want to get them set up, self-sufficient, and realize that they're going to keep doing it the way you taught them. They're not going to really evolve. They're not really a self-evolving situation. So it reminds me of like when you teach a child, like if maybe you have a 12-year-old and you teach them, you know, When we bring home the groceries, you're responsible for everything that goes into the pantry because it's your level. So gather up everything goes in the pantry and put that away, and then you can go play. Every time that groceries come in, they do their part, and then that's it. And it doesn't change. They don't try to help with extra things, but they do what they're supposed to do, and they know where things are supposed to go, and that's what they do, and that's it. They do the same thing every time. That's it. That's it. So there's a blessing here with the Queen of Wands. Your energy is going to be very, I feel like you want to be temporary with these new people coming in, but that's kind of the heads up on this. This is not an energy that evolves on its own. It just won't. It'll do what you tell it to do, and that's it. Just make sure it's self-sufficient, and that what you want done is what you want to continually be done. Kind of like, all right, yeah, that's fine. As long as they keep doing that, that's fine. Even whether I'm bringing home the groceries or somebody else, they do the same thing every time, and that's fine. That's all that's expected of them. That's what you're going to get. As long as you're okay with that, they're just saying, set it up that way. If you have them continually coming back to you for more direction, that will never end. So you want them as self-sufficient as you can, and realize it's not going to evolve by itself, and then like let it be. Hopefully that's helpful. It says blessings, like it says blessings. So I feel like this is a good, like once you have it set up, you can depend on it so you don't have to worry about it. So maybe that's the blessing in it. You don't have to worry about it. I can see how that would be the blessing. But again, it doesn't evolve on its own. They very much care for you and very much like you. So they want to keep you happy. It's not going to evolve on its own. I just keep getting that over and over. It's not going to. So however that helps you, hopefully that helps you in a good way. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to shut this down here. Hopefully that helps, like I just said. If you're interested in the if you're interested in getting a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.